Everybody, I'm in Princeton, Indiana, as if you could tell, at the Gibson County coal loop, and they are loading a coal train right now. Again, it's so slow you can't hardly tell, but they are moving. You can see the cars way around the loop back there. So it's Sunday afternoon. It took me about 6 hours to get here. You see a big parade of trailers and stuff. I think they're getting ready for the county fair or some kind of festival. These are all like carnival rides and stuff coming down here. But anyhow, the crossing is not blocked, so I'm going to head down there and I'm going to try to shoot a couple of trains to tack on to the video of all the interesting stuff I did today. So if you don't think my stuff is interesting, just go ahead and fast forward and you'll see the trains at the end. Hopefully I'll see a couple. Hey everybody, Sunday afternoon, I guess May 14th, and I took a detour on the way to Princeton. Drove up to Washington, Indiana. This is the old Baltimore and Ohio main line, Washington to St. Louis. This part is still active, although it's not really a main line. But they've got a beautiful station, a brick platform. And I found one of the bricks that says Athens Block on it, which is Athens, Ohio. If you zoom down there, they still use the old color position light signals here on this line too. So those are rapidly disappearing. So let's walk around the station and look at it. All right, so you can tell it is now the Chamber of Commerce and Visitors Center. Very nice depot. Let's look at the other end of it, and we'll look at this historical marker down here. All right, this is the west end of the depot, and let's look at the historical marker here. So we're going to go down and look at the machine shops and car works, see what's left of it next. And we'll just walk by on the platform side. Again, there are trains, they do use this, but it's not a main line anymore. Very nice, glad to see it saved. And here's one of the bricks from the platform. So this is a very, very common brick. I already have some from Southern Ohio. So Athens was on the Baltimore, Ohio, in southeastern Ohio. And they use these bricks on platforms all over the place on the B&O. So here's one of the signals, and to the best of my knowledge, these are not turned off. They're still using them, and you can see on down the tracks there's another one facing the other way. I don't know a lot about signals, what they're supposed to show, but there's also some very old railroad crossings here. These things look like they haven't been replaced in a long time. I'm actually looking east right now. I drove west a little while, a half mile, 3/4 mile. The railroad line is right over there. This is the site of where the shops used to be. And Google Earth sort of got me again. So zoom in, you can see these nice modern new buildings. I think this is called like Eagle Rail Car Services or something. I am actually standing where the turntable was. Had a huge roundhouse here. And I'll show you some historic photos of what it looked like. But yeah, this is the roundhouse. You can see where the rails were and the inspection pits that have been filled in. This is Van Trees Street ahead of me. And here's an old, what is that, a 44 tonner, something like that. The guys from, there's a couple of locomotives there. Another old, maybe Davenport or Plymouth Switcher or something there. This is all fenced in. So I can't get to that. But again, there was a huge roundhouse here, and I'll show you the pictures of it, and also show you the pictures what Google Earth says is here right now, because Google Earth hasn't been updated. So this is what I was expecting to see: some ramshackle old shop buildings with roofs falling in, but obviously Google Earth hasn't updated the picture in a while. And Eagle Railcar Services has torn these down and replaced them with the new modern buildings. So once again, I'm a little bit too late. In a while. But evidently they rebuild rail cars here and maybe clean, refurbish, whatever. It's a big place. I thought you'd like to see where the roundhouse used to be, turntable, and now I'll show you what it looks like, what it looked like before they closed. These shops were, B&O announced they were closing them December 27th, 1965. And they moved some of the operations to actually Chillicothe shops before Chillicothe's closed, probably in the late 70s or so is when Chillicothe closed. So I'm west of Washington now, and I'm heading toward Vincennes, which has some neat railroad stuff. But I saw this from the highway and had to stop. I assume it's some kind of old coal mining facility. There is coal in this area, but that's really pretty cool. It's out of business now. If I was standing on that little rise ahead of me, you could see where those trucks are parked. It's just all solid black. Where coal was. So I'm going to go see if I can get a better view of it. It's about the best I can do. The railroad is over there. I would say it doesn't have a spur to it now. That's where I was at before, where the substation was. But you can see it was definitely a coal mining facility. Pretty cool. So I'm in Vincennes, Indiana now, which is I don't know, 15, 20 miles west of Washington. So the diamond you see ahead of me, I'm looking, the line going straight is the old B&O that goes to Washington and Cincinnati. The line that goes this way, and the diamond right there, I believe is the old Chicago and Eastern Illinois, and that's the line that runs through Princeton, and this is a really, really busy line. So I'm saying that these rails are going to be really shiny right here. The B&O line is not. Yeah, these rails are pretty shiny. So where I think I'm at used to be the depot for the two lines. So that's looking south toward Princeton. You can see there's a line that comes off here and another diamond over here. And this line loops around. There's like a big series of Y's here. That's the best way I describe it. So here's an aerial view. I want you to notice the blue dot is. That's where I was standing when I took this shot off Google Earth. There's a building that's not there now, and that was what was left of the depot, I'm pretty sure. And so it's been torn down since Google Earth updated it. So Man, I was really hoping to see some of this stuff, and there are some historic photos. Maybe I can find one and put one on there for you. So that makes a loop around to the left and ties back into the B&O line down there. There's also a line that goes on the other side of the street, which you can see if you see the stop sign, and that ties back into the Chicago and Eastern Illinois line. Of course, it's all CSX now. It's all CSX. So I couldn't look at like crossing markers and tell whether it used to be B&O or or anything. So anyhow, pretty interesting area right here. And it just kicked away at the dirt a little bit. Of course, you can see the concrete curb here, but Athens Block, again, this is probably where the depot was for both railroads. It's a perfect location for it anyhow. So now we're looking south. This is the Wabash River. That's the B&O Bridge over the Wabash River. And in the distance, I'm going to try to zoom in a little bit. If you can see right in the center of the picture, that large, sort of looks like where a president would be buried or something. That's where George Rogers Clark is buried. He's sort of one of the unknown or forgotten heroes of our early part of our country. He's more associated with the Midwest than around Philadelphia and Washington, D.C. and all that. So you might want to Google George Rogers Clark. That is a very, very impressive structure. I've been there. Very nice. So this line right here is another diamond. So let's go up and take a look at that. Okay, so I walked up to the diamond. So again, if you notice, this is all jointed, it's all stick rail. I believe all this does, it's like an industrial spur that goes upriver a couple miles or so. But it has new signals on both ends to protect it. This is the B&O line, welded rail, looking west toward St. Louis, looking east toward Washington, and again, that's where I was at a little while ago. So there's 3 railroad diamonds in Versailles, or in Vincennes. That's pretty interesting. And I would say that this rail does not get used very often. Here's an interesting thing here, too. So this line, I believe, used to be part of what they call the Big Four. You remember I did the abandoned railroad about the Evansville, Mount Carmel, and Northern? Well, this was actually part of that. And if you look down here, I may try to drive down closer to that. I believe that is a stopper. I think this is served on a switchback coming in from the left, goes down there and stops, and then they have to switch back to run behind me. So I will try to find out exactly where this thing goes and where it ends. But this was originally a Big Four line that tied in at Mount Carmel, Illinois. There's a bridge south of here. They say it's way out in the boondocks, and I don't know if I'll be able to find it, across the river, and it's actually a swing bridge. But I think it's locked into open position. And you guys can tell me, are some of these ties untreated? I mean, they're new. I mean, some of these ties are really new, so they have done something to maintain this line, but they sure don't look like they have any treatment in them to me. So I'm walking north, and you can just see a lot of these ties are brand new. They have done a lot of work on this, but they sure don't look treated to me. So I'm going to drive up to see if I can find out where this line ends, and then we'll go down to where I saw that bumper at. Just an interesting sign. So, This is the end of the spur. It's a Wabash steel, according to Google Maps. Track going into the building and track going beside the building. It actually goes around the building and ends on the other side. Right now, apparently there are no cars there being loaded or unloaded. I'm going to drive around the other side and see if I see anything more. So I'm going to do a slow cruise by on Wabash steel here. According to the Google Maps, the line ends about where that high lift is. No, actually it comes across over to here it ends. And finally, guy is close to my heart because he liked donuts. Red skeleton. So if you're below the age of probably 50, you probably got to Google him. But I remember him being on TV when I was a kid. But so anyhow, he was born in this house here in Vincennes, Indiana. So a lot to do, a lot to see in Vincennes if you're ever this way. Okay guys, I'm heading for the bridge. That's Vincennes back there. This hump right in front of me was the grade crossing, and this road right here is called Big 4 Road. The right of way goes right down through there. All right, we're at the bridge. It's the Big 4 Bridge. I have no idea if the camera is focused or not because I'm watching the road. I'll get you the history of when this was built and everything later. Right now I'm just worried about keeping my tires on the boards. Sorry for the shakiness, but it is not really that smooth. It is a public road. It is now used. And I think I'm about to cross on the part that used to swing right here. I was told they made it a swing bridge because they thought they might have riverboat traffic on the Wabash River, but it's pretty shallow, so that really didn't pan out. This is now called Wabash Cannonball Road for whatever reason, probably just for the significance of it. Obviously it's a one-lane bridge too, so you have to make sure no one is coming the other way before you take off on it. Again, I hope the video is not too bad. I'm not looking at it. It's sort of in front of my face, but okay, I'm going to stop it now. All right, there's not really a good way to get down there to it. Now I'm in shorts and tennis shoes, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to head back across it after this band gets across it and start heading to Princeton. Okay, so here's the picture I found online. It was built in 1897, closed by the railroad in 1965. In 1968, a farmer bought it and made it into a road bridge. There is a toll booth on the Illinois side, but since I turned around and went back across it, I didn't pay the toll. I didn't know it was there. westbound CSX coming through town. The coal train is still sitting there, but they have stopped loading. Gnats are really getting bad. All right, that's enough for one day. I'm tired, heading back to the hotel. Everybody stay safe. Apologize about how long this was, but it was an interesting day.